Welcome to Innergetics with Kim and Veronica, where we invite you to nourish the energy of your inner why, your inner healing, magic, prosperity, your curiosity, clarity, playfulness. Welcome home. Hello, and welcome everyone. Hi, Kim.
Hello, Miss Veronica. Hello, everyone.
Welcome to our next episode of the Innergetics podcast. And today we're going to be speaking about our journey, our perspective on gratitude and appreciation, which seems like an overdone topic, but there's always some really cool nuances that can bring it to light in a whole new, powerful way. So excited to have you pull up your chair and sit with us and have this conversation.
I love the way you articulated that. That's so cool. And you're right. It does seem like an overdone. Oh, yawn. Oh, I think I'll skip this one. And yeah, because it's so watered down now.
It
It
is.
is like the energy of it and the ooh la la of it. It's almost lost its essence and its how and its why. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, thank you, whatever. Uh-huh. Right? No, that's not it. So where is it that people can find us, Veronica?
So for us personally, individually, you can find me and Veronica, the Veronica Rose on Instagram. And Kim, you are.
I am growingbeyond.com is my website, and I'm also on Facebook as Kim Coleman, and I'm also on Instagram. I think it's BK Coleman. No, it's Kim Coleman dot growing beyond. And I just started Tiki Talkie.
Nice. I'll have to come check you out.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Awesome. Cool. And so yeah, do you want to kick us off on the
Yeah. Yeah. So, when I really, it really helps me a lot to think about everything through the framework of energetics, and that's just how I'm wired and what's been helpful for me. But everyone has their own framework that is helpful, and that's one of the things that Kim and I always emphasize. It's all about finding what works for you, right? So we share our own perspectives, and Kim and I have different ways of seeing things and experiencing things and doing things, and so our hope and our intention and our ultimate vision is that everyone finds their own path to the embodiment of these tenets of wisdom that go back to the ancient times. When you look at so many bodies of work that have transcended centuries, they all come back to the same basic tenets. And there's so many different ways that you can explore. There's so many different nuances of it, but gratitude is one that is, that stands the test of time through all of the evolutions and different modalities and different ways that we tap into the wisdom of the web of life. And it's something that I have, really played with in different ways throughout, especially the last 20 years, playing with it consciously. It's something that I forget to really tap into as a very powerful tool and powerful force. But every time that I remember and I am conscious about it, it's crazy to me how much things change. And it's something that we've heard so much about from so many different people, the gratitude journals and being grateful for what we have. And there can be some funny coding in us where, maybe we've been brought up by our parents, just saying, well, you just be grateful for what you have. And so there can be some resistance sometimes in our mind, especially when we're going through really tough times where it's like, I don't want to be freaking grateful for this. Like, this is awful and this is tough. And this is like, how do I find any gratitude in it? And yet, when you can kind of go within and find that warrior within to find a way to tap into the gratitude, it creates this ripple effect in the energetics of the web of your life that really begins to transform your life. And there have been times in my life, I remember, obviously I'm still in the corporate world and I'm very happy there, but there were times, chapters where I wasn't happy and I would have to think about, okay, well, what can I be grateful for? And there were periods of time where I wasn't grateful for anything except the money coming into my bank account. And so that's what I would focus on. And there's been times in my relationships where it's like, in my romantic relationships, I've been married twice, where it's like, I've gone through chapters where it's like, I don't feel like I can be grateful for this person right now, but yet I would challenge myself to go within and find where that gratitude could be, in the smallest of things. And when I can just like tap into the energetics of that and focus on that, it's again crazy how it begins to create this snowball effect, this, compound effect that we want to talk about, of energetics that really begins to shape and transform, and creates movement and change in our lives.
I love that. And Miss Veronica, I have also seen where you didn't have money in your bank account. So going to work for you was, what do I have there that I can be grateful for? And I remember you came up with, I love a really good pen.
Yes.
And so you started with where you were at. You
Mm-hmm.
started with where you were at, and you looked at, oh my God, I love a really good pen, and they provide really good pens. And so I remember that. I got to ask you though, are you still like in love with a really good pen?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like go out and buy really good pens, but I appreciate a good pen. It feels good
Yeah,
in your hand,
exactly.
that writes well. Yeah. So
Me,
you're right.
exactly. Yeah. And so that's where you started. And so gratitude and appreciation is actually a vibration. It's a frequency, and we all know, or we know that energy, frequency, vibration is the language of the universe. So when we're speaking the language of the universe, now we're a vibrational match, if you will, for more of that to show up. When we're just doing the verbal diarrhea form of gratitude and appreciation, that that doesn't have the vibe behind it. That doesn't have the feels, if you will, behind it. And so it's just verbal diarrhea. And so a lot of people will do the gratitude journals and all the things, and they're doing it perhaps because that they were told it was a good way to create, it was a good tool to do. And if it's not working for them, then they may decide, okay, that gratitude thing and appreciation thing is poop, didn't work.
Mhm.
And so for me, it's about, again, I think I was born with 1,000 question marks above my head. For me, it's always, okay, I get it, and what is the how? What is the how? And it's really interesting how, for me, one of the ways that I get the energy of the thing, if you will, the true, that for me, what is the true essence of gratitude that my body is creating, is I ask myself the question, what does it provide me with? What does it provide me with? So, for example, when Ken and I first got together, he made used to make himself a smoothie every morning, right? And then he started making me a smoothie. And I totally took it for granted. I was like, whatever, right? He's right. I'd be in the shower, he'd be making my smoothie. And then I'd come out of the shower, and as I was putting my creams on, I'd be drinking my smoothie. So I didn't have any the energy, if you will, of gratitude. I'd probably say thank you or something like that. And yeah, for sure, I probably would have said thank you, the verbal diarrhea part. And then one day he brought it up. He said, I don't really get that you appreciate that I make you a smoothie in the morning. And my response to that was, WTF? You're throwing an extra banana into a blender, like, right? And so that was my true energy behind it, was, so what? You're throwing in an extra banana and an extra little bit of almond milk or whatever, like, big deal, right? I probably wouldn't have said big deal, but that kind of vibe is how I was with it. It was more like a so what. And then I learned this thing. I think it was from Mary A. Hall, to be honest, of asking the question. It might have been from her. God knows where it came from. Yeah, but what does it provide me with? Oh my God, that has changed everything for me. What does it provide me with? Do you remember you and I playing in that energy of appreciation by asking that question for, oh my God, everything? So, what does it provide me with? Oh, wow. Well, it provides me with nutrition in the morning. It provides me where now I don't have to make myself something to eat before I go and do what I got to do. And oh my God, he even cleans out the blender. I don't have to do that. And so when I could really look at what it provides me with, then I could actually be authentically in the frequency and the vibe of appreciation, right? That, but I had to ask, what does it provide me with? And Veronica, you and I remember us playing in the energy of life that way, where it was, what about gas? Right? Do you remember us playing in that? Yeah, so many people, complain about the price of gas. So there's no gratitude there at all. They're complaining about the price of gas, the time it takes to pump it, all the things, right? And I just always got curious when I learned this tool. I went, wait a minute, look what's happening to gas. We're all kind of resentful about the price. We're all kind of, blah, 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 playing in that vibe around gas. And what's happening to gas? Well, the price is going up. And they say that we're depleting its resources. It's almost as if, or is it as if, people have no appreciation for it. So gas is going, yeah, really? F you, right? And and so when I learned this question of what's it providing me with, I went, oh my God, I almost cried. I almost cried because wow, without gas in my car, my grandbabies live over an hour drive, about an hour drive away. Without gas in my car, how would I get there? Right? I'm not walking. I'm not hitchhiking. It's freezing here, right? Not happening. And so when I was able to look at and really like pause, it really is about pausing, isn't it? Take time to stop and smell the roses. So it was really about pausing for me. What's this providing me with? Oh my God. And then I would be so grateful for gas. And I'm so appreciative for gas and everybody that included, meaning the guy that comes in and puts it, has to drive it from wherever in those big trucks. Oh my God, like, thank you so much, buddy. Right. So it became like this, almost like this, I don't know what the word would be, community. I would look at the entire community that enabled me. Community isn't quite the word, but you probably know what I mean. Uh,
Ecosystem.
Thank you. That, yeah. Oh, I'm hearing some beeping in your end. Is that a microwave or something?
Yeah, it's my laundry. I'm muting. You can continue.
Oh, we're fine with the laundry muting. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that thing of what does it provide me with? Like, I still use that tool today. Like, I might be in the shower and I'm in a rush and I'm just doing my thing, and I'll just, oh yeah, right. Wow, how much appreciation do I have and a gratitude do I have for being able to turn a tap and hot water comes on? Because I'll think of what would have been like to have to, you got a tub in your living room floor back in the day and you're boiling water on a stove that you got to fill up with wood just to get the water hot. And so I can look at those types of things and have so much gratitude for even the water coming out of my shower. Now, when I have that much authentic appreciation and gratitude for even the water coming out of my shower, let alone flushing the toilet, right? Now I'm blessing, if you will, that water that then goes somewhere down once it goes down the drain, right? And so, yeah, it's a constant giving and receiving. It's a constant playing in that energy and that frequency of, and then you get to see the beauty in things, the true beauty. But if I'm just taking everything for granted, how could I even see the beauty?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know my dad tells, he grew up on the farm and he tells of stories of how there would be one bath a week. It would be on Sundays. and everyone would use the same water. So that would be like the kids would go first, and then and his father would be last, going into the water after how many people have already bathed. And so, and you and I have played a lot in this, both like in our own lives, but also in courses that we facilitated with, with clients, where especially around the energy of money, because it can be
Mm,
really, anytime we're feeling and challenged with money, it can be really tough to shift to gratitude, and that's something that is wonderful because we exchange money every day, so it's a perfect place to play. I remember times where again, in the corporate
mm,
world, like you said, I was always in the negative. Like I was always, I'd get a paycheck, but then, I was always overextending myself, and I'd always be in the negative, and it was really hard to find appreciation. So I would dismiss it and say, well, I don't have anything to appreciate around my money. And I really had to challenge myself to just even appreciate the money coming in my bank account, even if it was going to be gone the next day, like just to hold on to that one opportunity an opportunity for gratitude, right? And sometimes it's very easy for us to say, I can't be grateful for this or that because the circumstances are too difficult. And yet the way to change it is to shift into gratitude. And that doesn't mean that we are ignoring what we're experiencing in terms of the tough times. It doesn't mean that we are not allowing ourselves to feel the tough emotions in reaction to any of the tough things. It means we're doing it in addition to it, right? So I can feel, upset or disappointment or fear around my finances or whatever it is in my life, and at the same time also look for opportunities for the gratitude. And I think that's important,
mm,
to really call out that it's not replacing that I'm living through something that's difficult or tough, and I have these emotions around it. Now I have to slap gratitude on top of it, right? They're two different things, and we get to experience the emotions, and we get to be, a receiver of what life is giving us, and a responder to what life is giving us, and also choose, to play in the energy of gratitude so that we can begin to transform it, because it's a medicine. It's a transformative agent that actually comes in and changes the molecules of a situation, like you and I've experienced over and over and over again, both in our own lives, but also with, clients and folks we've interacted with in this topic.
I love that. And, as you were sharing about the money piece, I love that because often we look at what is coming in with the energy of, okay, yeah, I'm grateful that it came in and it's not enough. And
But
the right, exactly. And
yeah,
so
but
the exactly. And that I don't know if it cancels out our appreciation, but are we really appreciating it? It would be like, you know, uh, appreciating your partner and letting them know, and it's not enough, right? Are they going to want to come and hang? Are they going to want to stay and hang out if whatever they're doing and however they're showing up just isn't enough? Right. And I get that. Listen, I get that too. But when I can get more an appreciation of what even that $10 provides me with, or that $20 provides me with, oh my God, right? It enables me to whatever. Then I can get the gratitude. And like you said, it's not pretending it's enough when it isn't, but
Mhm.
it's also about the compound effect. Boom, there it is. The compound effect. So we've got a cup. What do I got it full of? The not enough or the appreciation for what is? So and in the beginning, it is a practice. It is a practice. Learning to go from crawling to walking is a practice. Life is a practice. And so, yeah, looking constantly at what does this provide me with? Wow, okay, so that $20, I get to put it on my credit card or whatever it is that it is for you. And I'm grateful for that because without that, yeah, without that, I don't want to say things get worse, but so everything that comes in, if I can be the energy of grateful for it. And so, with the gas thing that we were talking about, wow, like I don't know about you, but I'm so grateful that gas even exists. So I can actually say to gas, oh man, I love you. I love you. Because I do. I love being able to jump in my car and go and do whatever it is I need to do, or take the bus, because hey, they run on gas too, pretty much mostly, right? I mean, yeah, we're coming
Hmm.
out with different options and different things like that. And the shower, and hey, going to the grocery store, my dear God. Hey, so going to the grocery store, when you pick up a loaf of bread and you have the vibe of how expensive it is, what are we filling our cup with? What is the compounding effect of that? Right? And yeah, maybe it's true that it is expensive. And when you can look at what it's providing you with, hey, I don't know about you, but I'm not going out in the field with my heels and mini skirt on, and picking whatever they call it, that wheat or whatever it is, and grinding it, and like, seriously, I have this piece of paper, well, now it's mostly online, but that I can exchange this for that. Wow, thank you so much. And look at all the people. Look at all the people that loaf of bread provides something for. My dear God, right? Maybe it's the truck driver. Maybe it's the people in the factory or wherever that loaf of bread was made. They're now getting some type of paycheck where they get to go home and feed their families. Then we've got the people in the warehouses. We've got the truck drivers. They're feeding their families from their paycheck, and I'm buying that loaf of bread. And then we've got the people in the local store itself, right? And so when I'm using my $10 to buy my healthy version of bread, or whatever you want to call that, if I can actually pause for a moment, and instead of complaining about how much it costs, if I can go, oh yeah, look at the, what you call it, the ecosystem, like even
Hmm.
the person that's checking me out at the checkout line, or the person that's directing me at the whatever, all those people, a piece of whatever I'm buying contributes to the whole world functioning, from the farmers to all of it. And it just, we take so much of it for granted, and that's not a wrongness. I'm just saying, what if instead of all the complaining about how expensive things are, which I don't know, that's a lot of energy going towards filling that cup, and look what's happening in the world, right?
Hmm.
What if we caught ourselves doing that, giggled at ourselves, and went, oh my God, what is this providing me with? What is it providing my community with?
I love
Yeah.
that.
And which cup am I filling over and over and over? What
Yeah.
is my compound effect here? And it is a practice for sure.
It is, yeah. It takes practice, and it takes, the conscious awareness. So, and the concept of the compound effect, there is a book that I've never read, but it's quite famous. And it's really the idea that, the small, seemingly insignificant actions that you take consistently create a momentum that can reap big, a big experience, big rewards, big success, right? And so when we think about it in our own lives, it's the daily action of, okay, shifting from the judgment of my situation to, okay, I'm experiencing my situation and there are things that I can appreciate, even if we have to dig deep within. Because there's been many times, at least for me, where I've had to really dig deep to be like, okay, what can I appreciate here? Because I know that it's going to I know that the choosing to find the appreciation will be, like I said, the transformative agent to turn things around. But sometimes it's really hard to find. My brain really wants to resist it. And
Right.
that you just notice that. You just notice, like, where am I fighting this? Where do I not want to appreciate because I think that I really need to justify the situation I'm in, or like really align with the fact that I've been wronged here, and by life or whatnot. So sometimes it really takes creativity, and sometimes it takes that warrior within to go and find those opportunities for appreciation. But again, that's where our life can really change. And it's fun because, like with the example that you shared about like the gas, the gas is like it. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of ways in which we can feel judgmental about gas or disgruntled about the overutilization of our resources, et cetera. But what if we can just be grateful for what has brought us here, appreciate what we do have, and also at the same time maintain that desire for evolution, right? We're evolving, so there can be an evolution into something better for the environment and better for all of us. But that doesn't mean we have to judge what we have right now. Let's appreciate what we have. Let's appreciate where it's brought us till this point, appreciate it for what it is, and choose to step into the that bigger vision for evolvement for whatever it is, whether it's gas or groceries or money or whatnot.
I love that. Yeah, because the more that we can be appreciative of what is, perhaps that creates a whole different energy field around it, which enables it to change. Otherwise, we lock it in with our judgments.
Mm-hmm.
Totally lock it in with our judgments. And the other piece on this, Veronica, I think is great is the where did that go? Hang on just a sec. Oh, where to start? Like, where do you even start, right? And so I love how I've always had this thing of, a lot of sayings from wherever they came from and all the things. And you would often hear the elders or whatever say, take time to stop and smell the roses. Well, for me, that is a moment of appreciation. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's a pause. And so if you're somebody who you're walking outside and the sun feels really good on your face or whatever it is, what about compounding, filling that cup with more and more moments in our daily, as you said, Veronica, moments in our daily of things that we can appreciate, right? And so they're there. However, here's what my experience of a lot of that is, boy, oh boy, those dense, heavy, icky so called energies that have a lot of weight to them and a lot of density, that'll stop you in your tracks, right? It's so heavy and so dense that it gets our attention and it can stop us in our tracks, the whole thing. However, those lighter energies, oh my God, the sun feels so good on my face. Oh, my feet in the sand. Oh, I love a good burger or whatever it is. The energies of that can be so subtle
Mm-hmm.
and so light. That's why we call them light. They're light. They're also very light in subtlety. So for me, it is taking time to, oh my God, really pause. When something feels good, for example, or if I see something that touches my heart, or my body just takes a big sigh, if I can take that, even if it's just for 10 seconds, just kind of pause for that moment and that little Mona Lisa smile on my lips and really allow myself to be in the essence of that thing. And it's not about, I don't have time for that. Yeah, you do. Everybody's got 10 seconds. No, I don't. Okay. Right. And so I can be driving and have that moment of gratitude. So like I said, it's really interesting because the school of two by four stuff stops us in our tracks. And we continue compounding that. Those lighter, ooh la la energies, the ones that feel good, right? When we can pause and making it a practice, just make that a practice. If you take a shower once a week, there's a moment for you, right? And just because how good does it feel to take that shower or whatever it is, the sun on your face, whatever it is, maybe petting a cat, seeing a child, whatever it is, right? When we can actually pause and go, and really let that in. It really is about letting it in, right? Let that moment in and start to compound that on the inside. And you'll start to perhaps, haha, maybe you'll start to have more of that show up for you. Those moments that bring that Mona Lisa smile to your lips. But if I'm only focused on what isn't working, and that's my compound, that's what I got my cup full of, I'm compounding that. That becomes my default. So, really taking time to stop and smell the roses, to pause, really let those moments in. That was a big one for me because I'm a very high energy person. And,
Mm.
I can be doing a lot of things, so to speak. And to pause, even if it's just 10 seconds, even if it's while I'm in the moment of something, while I'm in the shower, while I'm whatever it is, then we start to become more inner, inner. What's the word there? Then we start to become more aligned with that. So, of course, we're going to start to see more of that in our life, more of those moments that make us go, things
Mhm.
that make you go right, that. And so, but it is a practice to literally pause, like I said, even if it's just for 10 seconds, but to pause. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's so much more powerful than our minds realize. And so it really takes the practice to, to start to observe the changes that it makes. And it's different for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So really, as a takeaway, just inviting everyone to take this on in any way that feels right. And the fun thing is that every moment presents us with opportunities to look for the appreciation. So it would be
Yeah.
really cool to hear, what folks are noticing as they begin to take this on in maybe a different way or a deeper way than they have before.
Yeah. And again, for me, it's what is this providing me with? Yeah. So next time you're at the
Mhm.
grocery store pumping gas, boom. And how many people are you also helping to feed their families just by doing all of that? Or whatever it
Exactly.
is. Whatever it is.
Exactly.
And yeah, if you like this video or you're listening to it on a podcast and you want to give us a rating or a heart or a share or whatever it is, we appreciate you.
Yeah, if you have anyone that you think could benefit from listening to the conversation, please share that. We'd really appreciate it a lot. Thanks so much, everyone, and thank you so much, Kim. So much love.
Much love. Ta
Bye for
ta for now.
now.